We'll go out the back first. So when I came here 15 years ago, this was the museum, this part here. Filming all this.
Yeah.
So this is the port of Ballina, and this is where the models will go here. The port of Ballina will be shifted out to the new area that we're going to build. These two models here were offered to the Maritime Museum in Sydney, and they wouldn't take them, not because they weren't good models, it was just that they didn't want to, they wouldn't display them. So that the owner said, well, if you're not going to display them, I'll give them to someone else. So he dropped them in here to us. Yeah, well, these were both radio control models. And the guy was telling me that the gates used to open and the bells would ring and the light used to flash. So this type of model here, you would know more about them than I do, but these were radio control models, the guy that used to build these. So I guess you buy the kit or parts of what you need to do it. He used to do 2 models a year. He'd bring one down on Anzac Day, and then the other one would come down. We had a all ships reunion in November, so he brought another one down in November. Then you go home and build another one, play with it for a little while, take the engines out of it, bring it down again. So we've got heaps of his models. The other model builder that we've got, it's like here on the Melbourne, it's a scratch built model, wooden frame, and it's some sort of cardboard that he uses to build the hull. Apparently it's a modelling cardboard or something, modeller's cardboard.
So how long has the museum been going?
Since 1984. Started in one room in the pilot's cottage. Then we ended up with the whole ground floor of the pilot's cottage. From there we moved into this building, which was the information centre and a museum for the Las Balsas raft, which came to Ballina in 1973. So next year's its 50th anniversary of it coming here.
And is the museum just all run by volunteers?
Volunteer run, yeah.
Or the whole thing?
All volunteers.
All volunteers.
Yeah. The museum has 215 models on display. These two here, made in Vietnam. And the bloke came down for the 40th anniversary of the Las Balsas, and he gave us a model, and he said, oh, I import these from Vietnam, and I'd been in the gift business prior to retiring, and I sort of thought, yeah, I've seen models from there and they weren't all that good. But he showed me on his website, then next minute he said, oh look, you can have these two as well. So we ended up with 3 models from him.
So what would you say is the most popular? Is there one that stands out?
Oh, everyone loves the Bismarck. Bismarck.
Which one?
This one up here. Probably the better known ships like the Titanic, Bismarck. The hood's behind it there, which people find interesting. That's the model that I was talking about, the guy that gave us the model. Those two down there, plus this, he gave us that one as well. A lot of artefacts in here that are very rare.
We can't stop.
Well, you get it on?
I did.
I get it on. Did you?
Yeah.
I can't get it on. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pretty good.
Way too good.
Council put this in here.
Yeah.
It sat out on the bank of the river for years. The superstructure fell down, so they brought it in here, but it was still left open to the atmosphere, except it had the roof, but it was all that.
Oh, so this is all one.
This is actually the boat. Yeah. We have
And that's just the stern there.
the stern up there, bow here. So all we did was cut the centre section out
Yeah.
because it was beyond repair in any shape or form. So the kids can go up there and blow the horn. We still use this section here as part of our workshop. That was off one of the dredges that worked in the river, but it was a pump, it wasn't a main engine, it was just a pump.
So what's the significance of the raft?
The raft sailed from Ecuador to Ballina in 1973. The 3 rafts, 12 men, and they were trying to prove, or they were proving, that people from South America sailed across the Pacific from east to west.
And they proved it.
They proved that it can be done.
So very similar to Kontiki.
Yeah. Kontiki sailed from Peru to Tahiti. This guy, he came all the way across.
And what was it his intention to leave it here in Ballina, or did he want to take it back?
Oh, I think they wanted money for him, but no one was going to pay anything.
So what happened? They just end up.
They brought 2 into Ballina. The third one, every time they towed it, it just sank. So they let it go, and it ended up down in Newcastle. And the vandals, once it dried out, the vandals set fire to it. So there was 2 rafts left here, but by the time the council decided they'd do something with them, the logs were just about had it. One of the raftsmen came up and salvaged the best of the logs, and they made up this raft in here. But basically, that's the sail off the other one. But basically, this is the raft as it would have arrived here. The actual balsa tree is a hardwood, but we remember balsa as being light. That's the sapwood, and it's got a very thick sack coating on it. This little lead model was made from lead from the Japanese submarines that were sunk in the harbour in Sydney. They took them around Australia, or parts of Australia, showing them to people, and they were given away as a little souvenir. You see the school kids up there on the...
Because, you know, if you're going to give a school child something, what better gift than lead?
Australian War Memorial, all off the Japanese submarines.
Or the mini subs?
Yeah, yeah.
And so why did the War Memorial give them to you? Just
I didn't want them.
really?
Yeah. And this Gary Oakley, he was an ex-sailor, and he said, "Oh, we don't want them. You can have them."